going on, everyone? Welcome to Spill Your Sauce, episode 5, the music show by producers for producers. We have 1 hour today where we'll get to know our guests, get them watch them download some samples, cook up. We get to them to open up some project files, see what they're all about, how their process is. Today we have a special episode. Some say he has one of the best 2022s of the year. He's a placement machine, working with Roddy Ricch, Rod Wave, A Boogie, Kodak, Ty Dolla, Nav, and many more. He's a part of a collective called 254 Sound, who's been familiar with the Where's the Cook Up Squad. They've done some sample challenges. But enough with the introduction. Let's all in the room make a round of applause for 254 Bodi. Bodi, what's going on, man?
Bro, I'm good, man. Good. Glad to be here.
Chilling. That's good. So if you want to give a little introduction about yourself, where you're from, let them know your name.
Man, I'm 254 Bodi, producer from Toronto, co-founder of 254 Sound. Yeah, man.
Simple question. How'd you start producing? How'd you start getting into samples? Where did it all begin?
Man, honestly, like I've been into music. Like music's been a huge part of my life for like as far back as I can remember. Like I've always, been blown away by like how, music can provoke so many like emotions and how it can just the ways that music can make you feel.
Yep.
When you're listening to it. And, I started off playing guitar when I was pretty young. And then I think around when I was like 11 or 12, I started like teaching myself more guitar songs by like watching YouTube videos.
For sure.
And then I kind of taught myself how to play keys a bit. And then when I graduated high school, I got FL Studio for my 16th birthday.
Hell yeah.
Or 17th birthday.
Sick.
And yeah, and then like kind of from there, I just was like messing around with it for a few years, kind of getting to know the software. And then, things kind of just started picking up after a few years of doing it.
If you had to give up one secret of how your networking was to get that many placements, what would it be?
Honestly, there's not like one kind of answer to that, but like as I said, I've been like doing this for like just under 8 years now, so it's been like a really long time
for sure
coming. And kind of last year was such a good year, and I think like one of the main reasons I was able to get so many placements was the fact that like I move around a lot. Like I do a lot of traveling. Like I'll go to LA a bunch, New York, Atlanta, and I just feel like getting in the room with other producers and with artists just like allows you to, build a real relationship
for sure
with them. And I feel like even, I feel like that in-person, like real genuine relationship, like will lead to, those producers like using your stuff more, like when you send stuff to them, like, they'll be looking out for your stuff versus like someone that's just reaching out on Instagram or, stuff like that.
For sure. Going on stories, why don't you tell us like about your first placement story? If you know which song that was, whether it be something big, something small. If you have a cool like first major placement story, then.
So like my first major placement was the song called Big Slimes that was on Thug and Chris Brown's collab album Slab B. And it was featuring Gunna and Lil Durk. So the story kind of behind that was I was cooking up with Sasha, one of the Zoo kids. This was probably in like 2018. We were at like my first studio, like mine and LJ's first studio.
For sure.
And we were putting a pack together for Ian Dior because one of our friends was like working on his project and he asked us for some stuff. And it's crazy because I feel like that was like even before like sending out loops was like really even a big thing.
Okay.
Like, but so we sat down to like cook this pack up of like kind of like punk, or not punk rock, but just like emotional guitar kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then whatever we sent the pack, didn't hear anything about it, like whatever. And then like literally I think like a year later, I just randomly played the sample for Eli.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, like this is like fire. And I like didn't think anything of it. I was like, what? This random thing I made a year ago? And he's like, yo, send that to me, like let me add some stuff to it. So then he added like went crazy on the vocals.
So, and then for everybody who doesn't know, you want to know, let them know who Eli is. Like,
Oh yeah, Eli Brown, God bless Eli, big legend.
yeah.
Yeah, Toronto goat.
So he laid some vocals there.
Yeah, so he did some like vocals and like added a few other things, and then he sent it to Turbo, who he had met him I think in Toronto when Turbo was in town, and he sent it to him. Turbo made the beat, placed it, and then it was so crazy because the song came out in like right when COVID was kind of happening. Like it was like May 2020 I think.
Yeah.
So like COVID had been going on like for like a few months. I was like, I was living downtown at the time, and I was with LJ and my other roommate, and I'm just getting a FaceTime from Eli, and like at this point, like I hadn't even like for that whole week, like I hadn't been cooking up, like I was feeling like so down just because like there wasn't anything going on, everyone was like cooped up.
Yeah.
I was just feeling super down, and Eli was calling me, and I almost didn't pick up the FaceTime because I was feeling so like low, like I was just like, oh, I don't even really want to talk to this guy right now. Whatever, I pick up, first thing he says is, yo, you got a lawyer? And I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, you got a lawyer, bro. And I'm like, nah. What are you saying, man? He's like, yo, bro, we got one. And I thought like, bro, when he said Chris Brown and Young Thug, like I literally like I shot out of my like LJ was there, like it was like the craziest feeling like ever, because bro I had no placements at that time.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So to go from like no placements to a song with Chris Brown, Thug, and Gunna, like bro, I was like that night was like one of my favorite nights of all time. Like it was crazy. Like we literally like went because it was COVID. Like we couldn't really like go anywhere. Like I lived in an apartment with like I had neighbors and shit, so we couldn't like blast the track. So we literally went to like a Loblaws parking lot in my car and just like blasted the song like at midnight when it came out, just losing our minds. Like that was just like the craziest feeling.
But yeah, so Bodi's opening up some project files right now. He'll let us know in a minute which ones we're gonna open. All right, you can go ahead and introduce what you're going to open up, what this was used for, all that sauce.
All right, so right here I have the project file for Number One Freak by Roddy Ricch featuring Ty Dolla, produced by me, Zoo Kids, Adriano, and Turbo.
Sick.
And yeah, so I'm going to just break this one down. I am cooking up in Ableton.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have everything I've done in like the past 2 years has been in Ableton, at least on the melody side.
What do you have on their instruments in there? You have a bunch of guitar in that?
Yeah, like a bunch of there's kind of a lot going on in here. Should I just like play like?
You can go ahead, play section by
play section.
Yes, go for whatever you feel like. If you're explain it while you're playing.
Yeah, first it started with this guitar, just like a pretty like I kind of had this progression like tucked for a while prior to us making it, but like I just always thought it would be like a fire soul sample, but it's just this guitar layer. It's 2 layers, 2 layers panned left and right. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Just compression and an exciter on there. And then there's like this next layer here, another layer of guitar. Yeah, just another layer, and again, nothing crazy on there. And then there is these, I guess they're like shots. I think, yeah, like kind of like these stabby reggae vibe shots. And we called the sample originally Whalers because it kind of reminded us of some like Bob Marley kind of vibe. But yeah, there's these those like shots.
Fire.
There's kind of a lot going on there, but
we can open up some plugins in that. But sorry, I'll let you continue.
For sure. And then I'm not sure what layer this is. Oh yeah, this is actually really cool there. This like wah guitar. That's kind of like the main line that kind of happens throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
Or the whole sample. And then there's just this bass line here which Sasha played on an acoustic guitar, but we just pitched it down.
Sick.
Yeah, so we just pitched it down a whole octave, and it sounds really dope. It sounds like an upright bass.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I just put some R bass on there to
And how's that?
it up a bit.
And how's that recorded? iPhone or is that direct in?
No, I think it was DI. Yeah, it was a DI. Yeah, Clark has a really sweet Martin with like this great DI.
The next one, do you want to, while it's opening, just let them know what you're going to be opening here?
Yeah, so this next project it's gonna be another Ableton file.
Sick.
Is Water Drowning Part 2 by A Boogie featuring Kodak Black. So this one, I started the initial idea for this at my girl's cottage, which is like 2.5 hours outside of the city, but so I'll just like go through the layers here. So yeah, I started off with this rim.
Yeah.
And layered it up. Make it a bit more full, and then added some like random percussion, like I like did this like random little like reverse kick thing, like oh no, like like it's just like random. No, like I said, I was like trying to do something different. Like I was just trying to like do some
for sure.
some different shit, but
And it fills it out for sure.
Yeah.
Those little things. And
and then and then from there there's like the kick and the hi-hat.
Sick.
Yeah, there the 808. And then yeah, for like this part I randomly did a different 808. But kinda just worked out, you know?
Yeah, it sounds sick. It sounds sick, yo. It's hard.
Yeah. Then it just switches back to the other 808.
Sick.
Yeah, that's like the whole beat.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for showing some of that. That's sick. All right, so I guess we'll get into the next segment. We're gonna hop on. We'll let you start opening up waves.com. So Bodi's gonna hop on there now. I think his screen's open and ready to go. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Feel free to swift through. Feel free to search whatever you want.
Okay. Like I'm tempted to, like just get a vocal and like play some guitar around it, but yeah, I'm good to go whenever.
All right, start it up. Okay, we're starting the timer right now.
You hurt me so much that I had to leave you.
I'll add just this one line. Fire.
Fire.
All right.
Fire. Heck yeah. Do a round of applause. Oh, been over 15 minutes, but I think that's it for everything. We got everything. That I think we're all good. Do you have anything else you want to say? You want to plug anything where they should check you out? 254, all the ads.
I'll just check me out on Instagram. Check the boys out. But yeah, we're that's all I got to say.
That's all. All right. All right. I think that's everything. All right. Look, big round of applause. Thank you again, Bodi.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No worries. We'll see you guys next episode.